I just never think of myself as that big until I see myself on camera, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh.
I think we all feel the same.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Carmen Anderson. She is one of our participants in the Driven to Be Healthy Challenge, and we are honored to have her here today and to do a quick interview with us just to go over some things that she learned and that we learned through the challenge. Thank you for coming in and talking
You're
with
welcome.
me. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Can you tell me what you feel like was your biggest challenge out on the road when it comes to
Well, it's
eating healthy?
trying to find healthy food. You know, the truck stops, some of them are getting a little bit better, but they still, you know, they're all the fast food, and they say, I mean, since I started this challenge, I've really got to read the labels, and I mean, on that, and then you think of all that fried stuff, you know, and they're saying that they're baking, but all that like chicken and salad and stuff like that all has that high sodium in there, so it's tough. I mean, so I have a microwave and like a George Foreman grill and the refrigerator, so I try to cook, you know, the meals that I can in the truck. So, but then I get busy, and that's hard when you're doing like a 600-mile day, and you have that, you know, the time to sit, and you know, it's tough.
When did you find time to exercise?
Well,
How did you make that work?
One thing, I didn't exercise as much. I've started walking again, but I have a dog, so it kind of makes me get out, you know, every 2 to 3 hours and go for little walks and things like that to get him out of the truck and exercise with him. So I came off almost 3 years ago now. I had a very devastating illness. I had Guillain-Barré, and I spent 3 months in the hospital, and I had to learn to walk again. And yeah, I was like off the road for over 6 months, and they didn't think I'd ever come back. And so I said I will drive again. I will drive again, and going through physical therapy, occupational therapy, even speech therapy, you know, because like I said, I had to walk, but then it was like kind of like a stroke where it paralyzed my face. So then I had to kind of redo all that, and then I couldn't exercise because I could barely walk. So that was tough. I put on a lot of weight because, you know, I just sat. I couldn't drive anything. And so now, after almost 2 years, I've finally gotten where I can, you know, feel like I can get out and do things again.
So that must have been very.
It was very, because I
devastating.
was on the road when it happened. You know, I was away from home, and I thought I just had the flu, and then everybody got worried, like Marty and a couple of the other people that we talked to all the time, and they called my son, and my son actually drove down and got me to the hospital. I mean, by that time I was so weak on that, and they put me in ICU right away, and I spent 4 days in that hospital, and finally I asked them, I said, I really need to go home. They kept coming up every day with a new illness, and as soon as I got back home, they knew what I had, and I could start my treatment. But yeah, it was pretty terrifying, you know, to.
I'm sure. So I'm glad you were able to get back out on the road. As far as the health challenge part goes, what did you feel was, I guess, most beneficial? What did you get out of being a part of the health challenge?
Well, it was great to have that on Facebook, and you know, if you had a down week, you could, you know, say, well, I didn't do very good, you know, and everybody was so supportive of one another, and that was what was awesome, is the camaraderie of everybody, you know, on that. So, and you made a lot of new friends, you know, for that.
I know. Like getting to talk to you today and meeting you today, I just loved it. It's so exciting to me to find out that you guys are coming, and I can say hi and get to meet you and stuff. Because so much conversation goes back and forth over the past 6 months or so.
Yes.
It's like you finally get to see the person behind it.
Well, we see your picture on Facebook, but it never is like quite the same.
And the same
So
here. I agree.
on that.
Okay. Well, thanks for chatting with me. We can be done.